So I just want to address this basically to what Charlie McConlogue had said there, to get it where he got it to where it is today. And where we got it to where it is today was we have a scheme right now that has 74 houses that are completed, 70 houses that are outer leaf remediation that retain block work. Now, what that means for them people who have done this, that's 140 odd houses, that half of these houses will have to be redone again at the great expense to the Exchequer. But what Charlie fails to say too is the 300 houses he says that are up on the scheme are commencements. You cannot live in a commencement. You live in a completion. And that's what's happened with this government in the past. Completion. We can't be fooled. Commencement is when you go to build. You could have years to build it. Completion is what you live in. So where Charlie's statement is misleading, I would just like to say too on Pat de Cope, I generally do believe, Pat, if Pat was in government when this was coming to pass, that if Micheál Martin had any loyalty and recognised talent and loyalty to people who have served him, then Pat would have probably prevented this from being the mess it is. So I'm going to continue with my time. When the government tables this amendment that deletes every single word of our motion, words that were shaped by those experienced, not just striking out sentences on a page, they're striking out people's truth, and they're telling us and telling the country that what we've seen in our own eyes and what we've endured somehow doesn't count. Minister Brown came in here for a very brief time today, and he hasn't had the respect to return, and that's another letdown for the people of Donegal, and it's no slight on you, Minister, sitting in his place. He said he would take those voices on board, but he hasn't. This wipes out all traces of their voices. It wipes it out, and it's deeply personal, and it tells those families that their reality is inconvenient and that their pain can be edited out of the record. What we face here this morning isn't an amendment, it's an erasure of all that we've said. It's a dereliction of duty. It's not telling the truth. It's wiping away the stories, and it's fitting the government's narrative. I can tell you that this amendment, what it really is cruelty. It's dressed up grievance. It sounds like power. It's turning its back on its citizens, and that's what the government are doing. The government says it's a 100% scheme. The government's telling us that the very people that cannot afford to let their children go to university because they have chosen between an immediate future of a safe house over their child's future, and that's what we're facing every single day. The government is telling us that families trapped in homes where children's drawings are covered up at the back of the black mould and that they breathe in daily, that this is acceptable. The government is telling us that pensioners that can't sleep because they're afraid of the gable wall falling on top of them, that this is acceptable. The science has moved on, the cracks have deepened, and yet the government pretends that nothing has changed. They continue to fund partial repairs under a standard that is unfit and is currently under review. This isn't leadership, it's denial. It's denial will keep people in limbo and worsen the trauma. Every euro spent on a flawed fix is a euro wasted to the tax exchequer. Homeowners of Donegal, Mayo, Clare and Limerick have carried themselves with grace this state has not earned. They've organised, they've researched, they've pleaded, and they've waited, and still they're being failed. I want to thank everybody and every member of the opposition, every party, every independent who came together this motion. You didn't do this for political gain, and I will be truly grateful to you. You proved that compassion and courage can still cross party lines, and for that the people of Donegal will never forget you. The government may have the numbers to pass their amendment, but they do not have the moral authority. When each of you vote tonight, you will not just be deleting a motion, you will be deleting the last thread of trust that many families still had in their state. The history will remember this night, and I will remember it when I'm faced with the evidence the government chose to look away. When given the testimony of those who chose, you've silenced them. When asked for hope, you've offered nothing but spin. To the homeowners listening, your voice is heard in this House, even if the government tries to tear it down. Your truth will outlast this vote. The cracks in your homes may run deep, but the cracks in this government's credibility run even deeper still. And so I say this. You can delete the words on this page, but you can't delete the truth. You can vote them down in motions, but you cannot vote away responsibility. The people will remember, and we will demand better, and one day we will get it. Go to my...
Thank you, Deputy, very much. And that concludes the debate. I'm sorry.